Have total trust. I know, and you'll probably acknowledge, that the method presented here of attraction of what you want could seem difficult. We are all living in the same society and in families who, unfortunately, have the same common point, mainly focus on negative feelings and events. What can we hear in the most of conversations? Gossips, lamentations, upsets, and all kind of negative stuff like that. Unfortunately, the majority of people on earth are blocked on this lower level of consciousness. This is the level dictated by the media. It is the perspective that maintains people in the state they are at the present. The great majority of people are talking about what they are wishing. I don't want to have this headache anymore. I don't want to receive so many bills anymore. I don't want to have so many problems in business anymore. Anyone is feeling better only by complaining to somebody else. He has that releasement feeling that sharing is giving to him. A feeling of not being so alone anymore is created to him by that sharing. But what people do not realize when they act like this is that by doing it, they activate the universe in a negative way regarding them. Thus, instead of being releasing of problems, they are getting a bigger and bigger issues, and it seems like they have no escape anymore. Life always brings to us things we are concentrating upon. If you're talking about bills, you'll receive bills. But if you change the direction of thoughts and you start to talk and write that you're receiving money from unexpected sources, in the same way in which you were receiving first bills, you will begin to see, bit by bit, some transformation in the level of fields of energy around your life, and everything will begin to function as wonderfully as expected. How was this possible? By total trust that life evolves as we expect. Total trust is almost as important as detachment in the process of creation by desire. When you believe in something, you just leave things flow their will, without getting in the way, being certain that your desire was heard and that all the universe is working to their fulfillment. How can we trust? If in the process of focus on one of your desires, like the one of getting the car of your dreams, a negative thought appears, like, will I have enough money to buy it? Or will I feel safe by driving my car, seeing I have never driven before? You only have to release them and substitute them with some positive affirmation, which you will repeat or write daily. Like, I have enough money to afford the car that I dream of, and I feel deeply safe in the car I just bought. I feel that I am always driving it. The process of substitution in positive thoughts and of inspire them with total confidence makes that some fears of ours become our greatest assets. It depends only on us, on how much we action about. Believe and you shall receive. In a way, this belief is proportionate with the validation of the authenticity of desire. In other words, as your desire is true, if you really want something and it isn't just something passenger, if your desire is persistent, strong, then it appears almost instantaneous the belief in its fulfillment. 2016 was an year at least strange for me. Why? Simply because an amazing, extraordinary event came to change my life completely. The event came the giving birth of my first and only child, Damien. Long time ago, about 16 years ago, I was expressing my desire to have a child, and God decided that He came only now when I was totally forgotten about this obscure desire of mine. Why obscure? Because I have never liked the idea of family, because of the limiting that this concept is supposing. Even so, I wanted a little baby, a little boy. It is probably due to this split of energies that my desire needed so long to unfold. My little miracle was about to be born in a family with only one parent, seeing that the father didn't want to know about him. It is true that the context of my laboring process wasn't the happiest, because I was very upset and stressed out, seeing that I had any idea about what was expecting me. If it was hard, of course, it still is, and I realized that it will probably always be like that. But I also have many satisfactions, and the biggest one is that I'm leaving behind me a copy of my spirit which completes me. Between belief in fate, choose faith. Fear could be useful when it is in reasonable quantities because it can save your life. We're talking about that spark of fear which is inoculated in the reptilian brain of every individual and which determines us to react in some limit situations, giving the principle run or fight. It is, otherwise, the specific way in which the part of our brain functions. In the other part, when it is extended to the extreme, fear punishes, canceling any thought at the brain's level or the capacity of the individual to think. That's why, in situations of maximum stress, we are highly recommended to practice self control and calming as much as possible, especially to avoid this canceling of the reasoning process. In this regard, I would recommend to remember a beautiful saying about fear, which belongs to the Indian philosopher Osho. He is talking about a man which, being in the forest by night, slips away and falls into a pit, but manages to cling to a branch. This way, he is forced to stay like this until the morning, projecting in his mind all kind of black thoughts regarding an eventual ending in the bottom of the pit, which he imagined being endless. But when the morning arrives, the man discovered that the pit had depth only of 1 foot, and there was only one step left to make to get out of it. Osho identified the mental process of terror through which the man got through, that paralyzing fear, sister with death, which I was talking about before. The same as the final of this story is a surprising and a happy one, this feeling of fear proves itself to be without any foundation, because it exists only in our mind. Unfortunately, a big curse of all times is fear and lack of trust, of self trust. To our salvation from this canceling feeling, a great importance has it everybody's belief, no matter the religion to which we belong. Belief is crucial in the process of attracting what you desire, so your focus on your desire will be useless in its absence. In other words, you cannot receive something that you cannot see like being yours. In this view, all your senses must correspond to the feeling of joy that your dream's accomplishment will bring to you. Like this, while the 21 days of focus by writing, and even after, you must see yourself in the situation of having what you desired or of becoming how you wanted to be, with all the aspects that this is supposing.